Listen, I want you to picture something real, not a hypothetical, not a made-up story. A real American retirement morning that looks exactly like the retirement you've spent decades trying to build. It's Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, 7:12 in the morning, Sun City, Arizona. Linda Parker is 66 years old, a retired elementary school teacher, a grandmother of 3, the kind of person who never missed a parent-teacher conference and never missed a bill payment. Linda is sitting on her back patio, coffee in one hand, mail in the other. The Arizona sun is just beginning to rise over the neighborhood. Everything feels normal, comfortable, safe. On the small table beside her sits a faded photograph. Yellowstone National Park, summer of 2005. Her late husband standing beside an old RV they spent years saving for. Linda looks at that photo almost every morning, not because she's stuck in the past, because it reminds her why she worked so hard, why she skipped vacations, why she packed lunches instead of eating out, why she stayed late after school grading papers when everyone else went home. She believed all those sacrifices were buying something. Security, peace, a retirement without surprises. And by every normal standard, Linda did everything right. She paid taxes for more than 4 decades. She contributed to retirement accounts. She avoided debt whenever possible. She kept employer health coverage after turning 65 because she was still working part-time. She followed the rules, every single one. At least that's what she thought. Then she opens the envelope. The letter isn't colorful. It isn't dramatic. There are no warning signs, no red ink, no flashing alarms, just several pages of government language, the kind most people skim, the kind most people assume isn't important. But Linda keeps reading. Then she stops. She reads the same paragraph again and again. Suddenly her coffee doesn't matter anymore. The birds don't matter anymore. The peaceful Arizona morning disappears. Because sitting inside that letter is a number that will follow her for the rest of her life. An increase to her Medicare premiums, month after month, year after year, potentially for as long as she keeps that coverage. Linda's hands begin to shake, not because she can't afford this month's bill, because she realizes this isn't a one-time mistake. It's a lifetime penalty. A penalty triggered by a decision she made years earlier. A decision she thought was perfectly legal, perfectly reasonable, perfectly safe. And here's the part that should stop you cold. Nobody ever warned her. Nobody sat her down and explained how the clock worked. Nobody explained what could happen if Medicare believed she enrolled too late. Nobody explained how expensive confusion can become. The projected lifetime cost? More than $48,000. Not because Linda committed fraud, not because she broke the law, not because she ignored the system, because she misunderstood one rule. One rule. And if you're over 60, if you're planning retirement, if you're still working after age 65, or if you know someone approaching Medicare eligibility, you need to understand something. What happened to Linda isn't rare. Under current Medicare rules, enrollment timing matters a lot. The difference between understanding the rules and misunderstanding them could mean paying significantly more over the course of retirement. And most Americans have absolutely no idea this trap exists until it's already too late. This isn't just about Medicare, it's about the fine print. It's about the deadlines nobody talks about. It's about the hidden cost of discovering a rule after the damage is already done. This is the permanent premium trap, and I am about to expose it. But before we go 1 inch further, I need you to do something. Smash the like button right now. I am not asking. I am telling. Because in 2026, retirement education is competing against celebrity gossip, political outrage, and endless distractions. The algorithm doesn't naturally push videos like this. It doesn't naturally push Medicare rules. It doesn't naturally push retirement traps. And it definitely doesn't push content that helps ordinary Americans avoid expensive mistakes. Your like button is the only reason another retiree might see this warning before the damage is done. Hit it now, because somebody out there is about to make the exact same mistake Linda made, and they don't even know it yet. Now subscribe, flip the bell, join the archive, because what I am about to show you isn't something your HR department explained clearly. It isn't something most retirement magazines spend much time discussing, and it isn't something you'll learn from a 5-minute internet search after the penalty notice arrives. By then, you're playing defense. Our goal is to help you play offense, to understand the rules before they become expensive, to understand the deadlines before they pass, and to understand the system before the system starts charging you for not understanding it. Now, the suits and legal want me to remind you of something. This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. And it is not Medicare advice. This is education. Nothing more, nothing less. Every retiree situation is different. Employer coverage differs. State rules differ. Income levels differ. Enrollment timelines differ. Always verify your decisions directly with Medicare, CMS guidance, or a qualified professional who understands your specific circumstances. Consult a licensed Medicare specialist, elder law attorney, or financial professional before making important retirement decisions. Good. Now that we have handled that, let us get to work. Because by the end of this video, you are going to understand 3 things. First, the Medicare deadline that catches thousands of retirees off guard every year. Second, how lifetime Medicare penalties are actually calculated. And third, the specific steps you can take to avoid becoming the next person opening a letter like Linda's. Because once you understand how this trap works, you start seeing it everywhere. And what comes next should make every future retiree pay very close attention. Now let's talk about the lie. Not a lie in the criminal sense, a lie in the retirement planning sense. The kind of lie that becomes accepted wisdom because everybody repeats it. The lie sounds simple. I can sign up for Medicare whenever I want. I'll deal with it after retirement. I have health insurance right now, so I'm covered. I'll figure it out later. And for thousands of retirees every year, those assumptions become very expensive. Because Medicare doesn't always operate on the timeline you think it does. Look at the dirty legal trick they use. The clock isn't based on when you decide you're ready. The clock is based on eligibility and enrollment rules. That's a completely different thing. Many Americans assume turning 65 simply opens a door that stays open forever. But Medicare has enrollment periods, deadlines, exceptions, special rules. And if you miss the correct pathway, penalties can apply under current law. That's where the permanent premium trap begins. Not with bad intentions, not with recklessness, with confusion. The most expensive kind of confusion. After studying Medicare enrollment regulations, CMS guidance documents, and retirement planning cases across multiple states, the pattern is unmistakable. The retirees who pay the highest avoidable penalties are rarely the careless ones. They're often the responsible ones. The people who thought they had everything handled. The people who believed they were doing the right thing. Let me show you exactly how this happens. Let me do the math live so it lands. Meet Michael Harris, age 68, Columbus, Ohio. Michael retired at 65. He assumed his transition from employer coverage to Medicare would be simple. Instead, he delayed enrollment longer than he should have under his specific circumstances. Now watch what happens. Look at the dirty math here. Assume a standard Medicare Part B premium of approximately $185 per month. Michael delayed enrollment by 3 full years. Under current Medicare rules, the penalty can generally equal 10% for every full year of delay. 3 years, 30%. Now take $185, multiply it by 30%. That creates an additional monthly premium of about $55.50. Doesn't sound devastating yet? But keep going. $55.50 every month, 12 months per year. That's $666 annually. Now imagine Michael remains on Medicare for 20 years. $666 multiplied by 20. That's $13,320. And that's only the Part B example. Potential Part D prescription penalties could add even more depending on circumstances. One misunderstanding, one delay, one rule, thousands of dollars, gone. Not because Michael broke the law, not because he cheated the system, because he misunderstood the timing. This should make you absolutely furious. And here is why. Most retirees spend years researching investments, years researching Social Security, years researching retirement budgets. Yet many spend only a few hours understanding Medicare enrollment. The irony is painful, because the mistake often costs more than the time it would have taken to prevent it. And here's the part that should put smoke out of your ears. Many retirees never realize there's a problem until they receive the notice, years later, when the decision can't easily be reversed. Oh, friends, it gets so much worse. Because once you understand how the penalty works, you have to ask the next question. Who benefits from retirees getting this wrong? And why does the system seem so complicated in the first place? That's exactly where we're going next, Let me show you 2 retirees. Same state, same age, same retirement savings, same retirement date. 2 completely different outcomes. Watch carefully, because this is where everything becomes real. Meet Robert Jenkins, age 65, Dallas, Texas. Robert spent 38 years working in manufacturing. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't poor. He was exactly what most Americans would call middle class. His retirement accounts totaled roughly $650,000. He owned his home, he had Social Security, and he believed he was ready. Now let's look at Robert. Type A, no planning, no Medicare timing review, no enrollment checklist, no verification of coverage status, just assumptions. Robert retires. His employer coverage ends. He believes Medicare enrollment will be simple. After all, he's been paying taxes his entire life. What could possibly go wrong? Months pass, then more months pass. The enrollment window becomes smaller, confusion grows, paperwork gets delayed, questions go unanswered. By the time Robert realizes there is a problem, he's already missed important timing requirements under his specific situation. The result? Higher premiums, potential penalties, years of additional costs. Not because Robert was irresponsible, because he thought retirement would be simpler than it actually was. And here's the painful part. Every additional dollar he spends on avoidable penalties is a dollar that cannot be spent elsewhere. Travel, grandchildren, home improvements, emergency savings. Those opportunities don't disappear all at once. They disappear slowly, month after month, year after year. Now let's look at Robert Type B, the insurgent plan. Same age, same savings, same retirement date. But 1 year before retirement, Robert does something different. He verifies his coverage. He confirms his Medicare timeline. He creates a written enrollment checklist. He reviews every deadline before leaving his job. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, no secret loopholes, no expensive financial products, just preparation. When retirement arrives, Robert already knows exactly what happens next. No confusion, no scrambling, no missed deadlines, no avoidable penalties. The transition is smooth. The premiums remain what they were supposed to be. And the money stays where it belongs, in Robert's retirement, not in unnecessary penalties. Now let's compare the numbers. Type A, potential lifetime penalty costs, thousands of dollars over retirement depending on enrollment timing, premium levels, and coverage circumstances. Type B, potentially avoids those costs entirely through timely planning and enrollment. The difference? Possibly $10,000, possibly $20,000, sometimes more, depending on retirement length and individual circumstances. And here's what should grab your attention. The difference wasn't intelligence. The difference wasn't income. The difference wasn't luck. The difference was awareness. One retiree learned the rules before the deadline. The other learned them after. Same retiree, same savings, same retirement date. Different enrollment decisions, thousands of dollars apart. That is the entire game. And now we're moving into the most important part of this entire video. Because knowing the trap exists isn't enough. You need a plan. A simple plan, a practical plan, a plan you can start tonight, not next month, not after your next doctor's appointment, not after retirement paperwork arrives, tonight. Because every successful retirement defense begins with action. Here is what you are going to do tonight. Not next week, not after the holidays, not when retirement gets closer. Tonight. Because the biggest Medicare mistakes don't happen when people lack intelligence. They happen when people delay action. And delay is exactly what creates the permanent premium trap. Let's fix that. Step 1. Pull out every health insurance document you currently have. Every one. Employer coverage, retiree coverage, union coverage, prescription coverage, supplemental coverage. Put them all on the table. Now look for one thing. What coverage do you actually have right now? Not what you think you have. Not what someone told you 5 years ago. What do you have today? Retirement planning begins with facts, not assumptions. Step 2, write down 3 dates: your current age, your retirement date, and the date your employer coverage ends. Most retirees never place those dates side by side. You should, because Medicare planning is often a timing game, and timing mistakes can become expensive. When you see the dates on paper, you immediately begin spotting potential problems before they become real problems. Step 3, call your benefits department, or call your insurance provider. Ask one direct question. Does my current coverage qualify as creditable coverage under Medicare rules? Then write down the answer. Get documentation if available. Do not rely on memory. Do not rely on assumptions. Do not rely on what happened to your neighbor. Your situation is unique. Your documentation matters. Step 4. Schedule a Medicare planning review within the next 30 days. Not because you're in trouble, because you're being proactive. Whether it's Medicare directly, a licensed Medicare specialist, or a qualified retirement professional, get clarity before retirement arrives. The best retirement decisions are usually made before they become urgent, not after. The Medicare clock doesn't care whether you're confused. The Medicare clock doesn't care whether you were busy. The Medicare clock doesn't care whether someone forgot to explain the rules. The clock simply keeps moving, and that's why action matters. Now let me be completely honest. Most people watching this video will do absolutely nothing. They'll nod their heads, agree with everything, then move on. And 6 months later, they'll still be operating on assumptions. Don't be that person. Be the person who takes action while everyone else procrastinates. Because retirement rewards preparation, not hope, not luck, preparation. Tell me in the comments comments which step you're starting first, and tell me your state. The more information retirees share, the more people we help avoid costly mistakes. Then share this video with someone approaching age 65, a spouse, a sibling, a coworker, a friend. Not tomorrow, today. One conversation today could save somebody thousands of dollars over retirement. And now there's only one thing left to discuss, the choice every retiree eventually faces. Ignore the warning or act on it before the trap closes. So let me leave you with one final thought. Linda Parker didn't lose money because she was irresponsible. She didn't lose money because she ignored retirement planning. She didn't lose money because she failed to save. She lost money because she discovered a rule after the deadline mattered. And that's the real lesson here. Retirement isn't just about how much money you save. It's about how many costly mistakes you avoid. The difference sounds small until it isn't. Because one misunderstanding can follow you for years. One missed enrollment window can become a monthly reminder. One overlooked rule can quietly drain thousands of dollars from a retirement you've spent decades building. And that's why videos like this matter. Not because they scare people, because they prepare people. You can be Linda, the retiree who discovers the rule after the letter arrives. The retiree who learns about the penalty after the damage is already done. The retiree who spends years asking one painful question: why didn't anyone tell me this sooner? Or you can be the retiree who understands the rules before retirement arrives. The retiree who verifies the dates. The retiree who asks the questions. The retiree who protects their future before the paperwork ever shows up. The choice for the next few months is yours. Make it count. Now, if this video helped you understand something you didn't know before, smash that like button one more time on your way out. Help break the silence around retirement planning mistakes. Help push this warning into the feeds of the next retiree who thinks Medicare enrollment can wait indefinitely, because it might be the most valuable click they make all year. And don't forget to subscribe. Flip that bell to all notifications. Join the archive, because this channel exists for one reason: to help ordinary Americans navigate retirement with fewer surprises and more confidence. And trust me, what we're exposing next is just as important. In our next video, we're uncovering the Social Security filing mistake that can permanently reduce retirement income for many Americans who claim benefits at the wrong time. You do not want to miss that one. I'm the Retirement Insurgent. This was the archive. The trap was built for the retiree who does not know it exists. Now you know. Act accordingly. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay one step ahead of the fine print.